So in my previous video, I unboxed my brand new Cricut Explorer that my husband bought me for Valentine's. Very excited. But I decided, why not go ahead and show you guys a video on a side-by-side comparison of the Cricut Expressions 2 to the Cricut Explorer. This is the one I currently own before receiving my Cricut Explorer. So I'm going to give you guys a comparison, that way you know exactly what the difference is and why I convinced my husband to buy me the Cricut Explorer for Valentine's. So the Cricut Explorer was available and premiered on HSN February 12th. So I was able to make sure that I got in on that deal. It was $2.99, not including shipping and handling and tax, so that's a little extra. You actually are not able to get the Cricut Explorer on HSN because they actually sold out of it, so they no longer have it. But it'll be available in retails along with HSN and Amazon on March 15th. So that's the 15th of March, you'll be able to get it. So the differences. Well, one major differences, if you can see, is that this is a lot wider than the Cricut Explorer. The Cricut Explorer is a little slimmer. It's boxier with rounded corners. And of course you have your Cricut Expressions 2 that has the gray accessory here you can change. Also has your handles. The other thing too is that my Cricut Explorer came with my storage bag. I can actually put my Explorer in here and take it when I go and scrapbook with my girlfriends. So that's a nice accessory. With the Expression, I actually had to buy a bag to be able to carry this around and take it to places. So not that I take it a lot of the times, but when I do take it, I had to buy my own bag. So it's neat that this comes with its own bag, and I showed you before the previous video all the nice cool things on this bag. The other thing, if you notice on the Cricut Expression, is you have handles. You can pick up your Expression here. Your Explorer, you can pick it up on the bottom. The major difference, if you can't tell, I'll point out to you, is that on your Expression you actually have a screen. And for those of you that love using the screen on your Expression, this is available for you. You can make your adjustments, everything you need to do, just like if you were going onto the actual software. On your Cricut Explorer, there is no screen. So those of you that love the screen, there's a little bit of adjustment there, okay? Another thing is, if you wanted to add your cartridges. On the Expression, actually has these little covers, depending on what cartridge you're gonna use. You would take the covers out, put your cartridges in, link in your cartridge or not link it in, whichever way you were doing before, and then you would have to slip these little covers back in to protect it from dust. I would always misplace these little covers, so that was a little bit of a hassle. Your Cricut Explorer, the main difference with cartridges is that you don't have those little covers anymore. It actually has a little compartment right here. So it has a little door, and when you push your cartridge in, the door opens, and when you take your cartridge out, it closes, and it protects it from dust. So that's a neat feature. Also, if you notice here, you're probably wondering, well, what is that hole? Well, this is a tool bin. So as you're working, or if you want to store anything, you have a little tool bin here that you can actually hold stuff while you're working. So that's pretty neat. The other power cords are still the same. Back on the slot, you still have your 10-inch coming out for your mat. So, you know, you allow room for that wherever you store it. The other thing is, when I get ready to put in my mat, I have to pull this door open and push this door down. So if you notice, it's a little tricky. So I was always worried about breaking the door, so I wouldn't pull so hard. And the door opens up the Cricut to your blade, to insert your mat, and to have access to your stylus, for those of you that use the screen. Well, on the Explorer, how do I open it? There's a button right here that says open. Push the button. Nice. Quiet, smooth, opens up with no noise, or, you know, it's perfect. I mean, I want to open it again just to show you. Let me show you. So you push the button. Nice. So nothing your blade. No stylus because it does not have an LCD screen. But it does on the door with the Expression did not have only a little place to store your stylus. On the Explorer, you actually have 2 compartments. One to store your blades, your extra blades, and your adapters. And another one where you can store your scissors, your Cricut tools, scrapers, anything that you're gonna need right there on the door. So that's pretty neat. Just make sure you don't put anything too big in there so you can store your stuff. So that's pretty cool. Where, of course, your Expression doesn't have it. The other thing, if you look at your Cricut head on the Explorer and the Cricut head on the Expressions, you see that you have actually 2 different slots. On your Expression, you have your blade holder. You have to unscrew this to take the blade out if you're going to replace the blade or put a different type of blade, or you're going to put a pen or a marker. So you would have to unscrew this out in order to get to open the arm in order to get access to your blade. On your Explorer, you actually don't have any screws. It's a little tab that you pull out and it just slides that blade out. You can slide another blade in, close the tab, done. So this was one of the things that really frustrated me because I could never get that screw in, and I would always be worried about screwing it too tight. I'm an over tight person, not personality, but I do tend to tighten little things too much. So I was always worried about tightening too much, and then of course if you don't tighten it in, if you leave it loose, then your blade is going to fall right out. You don't have to worry about that with the Explorer, so that's a plus. The other thing is that your Cricut has a pen adapter where you can actually cut and write at the same time. Yay! Finally! So you have a pen adapter. It actually comes, the pen adapter is actually pre-installed, and you have a pen. It comes with a pen. If I can figure out how to open it. Here we go. And it looks like a Sharpie. And you can get different color pens, obviously. So you have your Cricut pen. You take the top off and you slide your pen or your marker right into the slot. So the pen adapter is perfect. You can write and cut at the same time. The other difference is your blade. If you look at the Cricut Explorer's blade and your Expressions blade, you know you have to adjust the blade to the speed that you're going to cut depending on your material. So you adjust it from 1 all the way up to 6. Your Explorer blade does not have any dials for you to change from 1 to 6. Actually, the only thing that you need to do with this Cricut Explorer is set your smart dial to the material that you're going to cut. So if you're going to cut in paper, or you're going to cut vinyl, iron-on, light cardstock, fabric, or poster board, you set the dial to what you're going to cut to, and the dial will tell the blade exactly how to cut it, how fast to cut it, what type of pressure to cut it. So you don't have to worry about setting this dial. If you, I've always was worried about cutting too deep or not cutting deep enough. And sometimes I would not cut deep enough and not get a perfect cut. So this is perfect. I don't have to mess with this dial. I don't have to worry about it. If you need to adjust the dial because you feel more comfortable setting it to a certain speed or pressure, there is a custom setting on here. So you turn the dial to custom setting, you set it in the computer what speed, what pressure you want to cut, and it will do exactly what you told it to do, okay? So, you know, probably need to practice a little bit with the preset cut dials just to kind of make sure you got the speed and depth right. Power button, there's a pause button, there's a loading and unloading of the mat. So there's a button that you can remove the mat, load the mat, and then of course your go button. And that's pretty much my Cricut Explorer and my Expressions. So I love them both. One of the cool things that the Explorer does is that you can upload your own design in a format. So depending on the format you're going to use, you can actually upload your own design, cut your design from your Explorer. Can't do that with the Expression. So that was one of the pros in getting the Explorer. The other thing is that I would work on projects that needed very precise cutting, and my expression just wasn't cutting those tiny cuts the way I needed to, and they redesigned it so the Explorer actually cuts really small, precise cuts and very detailed. So on my next video, I am going to work on a project that I could not get those precise cuts with my expression. I'm going to try it out with the Explorer and see if what it says it does, it actually does. So I'm excited. Keep watching. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.